Okay, everybody, what I thought I'd do is show you another database that I typically use when I'm looking for research articles for a literature review, or in your case, an annotated bibliography. Now, there's just a few more that I would say I would use, but depending on your topic search, you may want to hit a librarian to find out what collection or what database is the best one to go through. Um, excuse me. What I want to show you right now is Taylor and Francis Online. Taylor and Francis is a well-known book publishing company, but they also control a lot of journals. They publish quite a number of journals, which are all peer-reviewed. Now, the downside to this particular database is that it can be difficult to navigate sometimes. So you kind of have to pick and choose very carefully. We're going to continue on with the theme of capital punishment and deterrence. Whoops. And then what we'll do is we'll filter down the formats that we want. Now, the issue here is that we've got a huge number, 7,941. But then we kind of have to get these down a little more closely related. Like, for instance, I can narrow down the subject matter into social sciences, or humanities, or areas of study. I can also say that I can choose a specific journal or a publication date. What I cannot do right out of the gate here is say, hey, I only want peer-reviewed journal articles. So you have to be very careful when you're using this one, because it's not always immediately clear as to whether or not you're running into a peer-reviewed source. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start out with social sciences and go to criminology and criminal justice. And then from here, we can kind of play with this a little bit. See, and here we go. Believe that guns deter crime and support for capital punishment, which is not necessarily what we're looking for. It will tell you if it's an article, but it doesn't necessarily tell you that it's peer-reviewed. So again, you have to be very careful. Now, I can tell you that something like Criminal Justice Studies is peer-reviewed. Justice Quarterly is probably one of the best well-known criminal justice journals in the world. So if you find something out of Justice Quarterly, by all means, use it, because it's a fantastic source. Criminal Justice Ethics is also a really good source. But like Deviant Behavior, a great source. Journal of Ethnicity and Criminal Justice. But that doesn't mean they all will be. So just be very careful in terms of what you're looking at here. Now, in fact, let's use Justice Quarterly as an example. We'll click into the article. Once it loads, there we go. And you'll be able to tell pretty quickly what the article's about. Here's the abstract. Here are the highlighted words in the abstract. There are other articles very similar to this article. So they based on keywords and authors, use an algorithm to determine additional articles. So check the sidebar here. I think you'll find some useful things there. If you're only needing something like figures and data or something to that effect, then it's not going to be as helpful to you. But what you want, again, is the PDF, which is right here, listed as PDF. Do not choose interactive PDF. The one on the right is designed entirely for you to use online and won't be nearly as helpful to you. Download as PDF will have the same problems all the others do. It's going to title it something funny. So I'm just going to take and copy this first part. I'm going to choose download as PDF. And it's going to load it in. And believe it or not, this up here, this 0741882.2011. Okay, that's going to be the title of this thing when it saves. Oh, they've changed it. Oh goodness, what a happy day. Okay, well, I take that back. Taylor and Francis now saves the document title. That's going to be a huge save. Copy it anyway, because my guess is the citation file won't be the same. So we'll just copy it, and when we come back over here and we get the citation file, we'll click by clicking Citations. Oh, you know what? It is right there. Download citation. My apologies. It's this one right here. Download citation. Right here. Which may still take it a second. Choose format. Now, you're all very smart people. We're going to come back to the RIS format, which you know everything about now. It stands for Research Information Systems. It's kind of sort of the JPEG of library files. And we want the citation and abstract. Then you click the Download Citations button. And look, it did copy it something really funny. So fortunately for us, we've copied the title. We're going to paste that title right in there. And we're going to throw that to our Research Methods downloads. Now, that gives us the document and the citation, which is where we want to be. Okay. This is Taylor and Francis. Again, there's no good way, there's no good way to determine whether or not you're downloading a peer-reviewed source. If you have a question about it, normally if it says the word journal in it or quarterly in it, you're probably okay. It's going to have, we'll just go that one real quick. It's going to be probably a peer-reviewed journal. If you are in question about whether or not it is a peer-reviewed journal, you can always look the journal up and find out if it's a peer review. For instance, Criminal Justice Studies. If you don't know whether or not this is a peer-reviewed journal, you can click into it and you can go look up the journal itself. In fact, if it's a Taylor and Francis journal, they should probably have a link to the journal itself in this website. So let's take a look at Criminal Justice Studies and we'll find out real quick whether it is a journal. Okay, look, see, it says journal. So how do we find out more about it? Well, we just click on it. And what you're looking for here to determine whether or not this is a journal entry, whether it's peer reviewed, is that they will have reviewers. They will have editors. And you see you have an editorial board right here. So this will tell you instructions for author, journal information, editorial board. This will tell you who the reviewers are. These editors aren't there to, write about things. These editors are here to make sure that the peer review process goes well. And these are all the advisory board, the editors and reviewers for these articles. So you know that this particular journal is now a peer reviewed journal, so it would be a good source. So this is the way to kind of get around the fact that Taylor and Francis doesn't tell you that it's a peer reviewed source right out of the gate. Okay. This is also a really good place because some of these journals, like Justice Quarterly here in the middle, this journal, very well known journal. You're going to find it in any of the other databases. You're just going to have access to it. EBSCOhost is going to have access to Justice Quarterly. Springer and Science Direct are going to link to this one. It's just a really high profile journal. Some of them they're not going to have. Criminal Justice Ethics may not be accessible in some of the other databases. So because Taylor and Francis owns this journal, they own the right to produce this journal, they're going to have access to it when other databases might not. So don't forget Taylor and Francis when you're doing these searches. It's just yet another database for you to use when you're looking for things on your specific subject matters. All right, I hope this has been helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.